Development on Enter the Dragonfly began just after Year of the Dragon released. Founder of Check 6 Studios, the company that was tasked with developing Enter the Dragonfly, Brent Oster, had his hands full at this point, as he needed to hire a bunch of employees to make Enter the Dragonfly. Luckily for him, another project at the time, titled Aliens Colonial Marines, was a game being made by a smaller team at Check 6 that was cancelled after almost 2 years of development. Now, developers from this cancelled game moved over to Enter the Dragonfly, and the project was officially in the works in early November of 2000. Check 6's small team grew over the months, but frequently had members quit the team because of various problems whilst working at the company. At times, Check 6 had trouble paying its employees, likely due to the fact that it was a brand new company that was run by inexperienced people. Due to the inexperience, a good amount of devs were required to spend many nights with no extra pay working up until the release to make sure the game was even playable. Even though the final game wasn't very stable, Check 6 tried the very best they could with the situation they were in to create the best game possible.
Oh no, Spyro! It looks like the Riptocs have frozen all the Dragon Masters. You're going to have to use your flame breath to melt the ice and find out what happened here.
Hi guys, welcome back. Scatlink here, and we're off for more of Spyro 4 Enter the Dragonfly. And in the last episode, we started off with a party celebrating newborn dragonflies pairing up with the dragons that we've saved from Year of the Dragon back in the Forgotten Realms, where we also met Bianca. And speaking of Bianca, she gave us a flame breath back after Ripto just appeared out of nowhere and just zapped all the dragonflies basically out of the party. And now we're basically on a new journey in the back ends of the Dragon Realms, basically the back gardens as it were. And we're going to realms that we haven't seen before in order to try and gather the rest of the dragonflies and stop the Riptocs from invading our home world uninvited. In this episode, we are in the Dragonfly Dojo, the first level in this game, which has a decent theme, and if the frame rate could stop suffering, that would be amazing. It's not hampering my gameplay though, I will admit. It is playable. It's not like the game is slowing down to the point where it's like it's skipping frames more like instead of losing frames. Yeah, instead of slowing down, it's skipping frames. Kind of like what Donkey Kong 64 does, but without the added bonus of speeding you up to make it look like it. It's just skipping frames. Let's take you out. I'm just grabbing all the gems around here. For some reason, Sparks didn't want to grab that one. That's perfectly fine. So we just got under 200 gems in the very start of the Dragon Realms, actually. The little area that we could explore. Not too bad. These little pink frogs are basically our fodder for this level. Just grabbing all the gems. Now, here's the thing. This starting area seems like a normal sized area for what you'd expect. Yeah, well that's gonna change, believe me. And would you get out of the air, you? And again, the Bubble Breath's hitbox is pretty much right in front of Spyro, so you need to pretty much head them off and knock them with the bubbles in order for them to even count. The spread doesn't really mean anything. Because that should have caught him. There we go, got him.
Hey, it's Steffi!
Steffi! Now, about in the last episode where the HUD, like, if I tap R right now, the HUD gets a little bit chopped off at the bottom of the screen there, and my black bars are a little bit more on the top. I have tried going into options, going into general, and then messing with the vertical and the horizontal, and notice the screen isn't even moving. Oh, okay, now it is. Wait, how much do I need to do that in order to make it actually move? It's not... Okay, it's very inconsistent if it actually moves. The horizontal moves, but the vertical doesn't, and I need that to move up or down, but it's not. And as I said, I am on widescreen, because that's normal and that's widescreen, so... I am in the natural widescreen that the game offers. And, you know, we'd like that sort of thing. I don't know if that actually impacts frame rate or if at any point, because this game constantly drops the frame, loses the frames. Right, so we got all that. Have we got everything at the beginning? Because I forget how you actually use sparks. I think it's clicking both analog sticks in the PS2 version, but I forget how you do it here. Does it actually... Oh, whoops. Does it actually tell you in this one? I don't see it. Set up here and grab some more Gemarinos. Ah! Boop. Oh! Got the wrong frame breath off. You just pitch that down a little and it'll be like, ah! Friggin' Arnold. Alright, but yeah, you've got a very, kind of like Asian theme going on in this level. Hence why it's called a dojo. Speaking of, we're here to free the Dragon Elders, so let's go do that.
Ah, Spyro. Thank goodness you had the sense to free me from that icy cage. Who would have thought the Riptocs would dare invade the sacred Dragonfly Dojo? Spyro, do what you can to return the dojo to its peaceful state by freeing all of the Dragon Masters. Remember, Spyro, the way of the dragon is to be a dragon.
His name was Bruce. The first one was Miyagi. Asian theme? Asian name references? Bruce Lee? Mr. Miyagi? Yeah, and we've got 4 left to get. Again, why is that chopped off? I need to somehow fix that. Maybe I'll try raising it up a little. Before I, like, and then quit out of the file and then load it back up. See if it fixes. Because it fixed my HUD. Because like, the gems and the Dragonflies used to be squished as near to Spyro's head. But obviously, once I started my new file and paused and I noticed it when I called it out, it's a lot more spread out using the screen's real estate in the widescreen. So, I almost died there. That would have been dumb. Right, let's head onwards. Hang on, I want to turn the camera here. It moves very slow, annoyingly so, but... No, it's not just due to the frame rate. I keep tapping R, and I don't need to. A little bit of tongue-in-cheek there, giving you a random... a hint as to use your flame breath. But to be fair, this dude isn't fat. Look at him. He's actually ready to throw hands. And again, Sparks is just being rude. Also, I did actually flame you and it didn't hit you. It visibly hit you, but it didn't actually hit you. Right, let's go run back for just a moment here. And find some fodder. There's some fodder. Gimme! Eh! Yeah, so as you can see, that door over there is too shut. So we will have to go down and around, unfortunately. Unlike the Reignited trilogy, as well as Spyro 2 and 3, I don't think there is a map option available. So we're just going to have to work with what we got. But yeah, that first area kind of felt like, you know, a standard area that you would normally see in a Spyro game. Get used to seeing a lot of those areas, because, like, these worlds are, like, 3 to 4 times as big as they should feel like. And I don't know if that's because they literally just upped the size, so they could fit more stuff in the levels, because they had little levels, or the small amount of levels, shall I say, and they had to pad it out a little, or they expanded the levels because they were going to have so little. Why couldn't Zoe tell me that like she usually does? She's literally going to do it right now. Also, she didn't exactly do it when you said like this, so... a little bit off the cue there. Got tons of Riptocs here, let's just bash them. They're all in ninja garb. I saw a yin and yang. Where am I going?
Spyro, my kite got stuck up in the tree.
Sure. I was in the middle of a battle there.
Could you get my kite out of the tree for me, Spyro? I can't reach it because there's nothing here to stand on. Just me.
Ideas? I mean, we can finagle it, so we don't need to worry about not having a problem. Also, we do have Head Bash, never covered that. Basically, after a hover, you just press the Y/triangle button again in order to do that. I'm having massive trouble taking that guy out. Didn't help that I got interrupted while doing so. Let's just do like a little lap around here and grab a little stuff. But yeah, he just said that that little baby dragon there, he said that the only thing that you can stand on is really me, but we can't really have Spyro standing on a baby, can we? Unless we could do something about that. So we might have to come back with the ice breath. So I'm not actually too bothered if I don't 100% this level, to be fair. That's a great start, isn't it? First level when we had that.
Hey, it's Shellac!
Shellac! Don't know if most of these names are just random names that they plucked out like they did in Spyro 3, but just bash you. It's easier. Oh, we killed enough enemies in order to get another one up. Nicely done. Normally it's 10, like it is in Spyro 2 and 3. Well, with the gems, I think it used to be about, what, 20 or something stupid, or 18 or some weird number. But actually in this game, even though they do say it's 10, it's actually about 7. A little bit of a programming quirk. The wrong value was put in. I think they meant to put it as 10 though, but for some reason they put in 7. Don't know how you would manage that though, considering that 1 and 7 and 0 are not exactly next to each other on the keyboard, but maybe one person thought it was 7, and some other person knew it was 10. I don't know. 7's not a bad number, though, considering how widespread some of the fodder is in this game. It kind of evens things out, actually. So, no big loss. Again, we'll help out that little baby dragon in a minute. For now, though, we found another room. A lightning bolt. We can go get a lightning breath now and actually explore more of the hub world already. We don't even need to go deal with the bear. But then again, we do need 25 dragonflies. It's 10 per level, remember? So we're not going to actually get enough. There's another dragon elder here, but I want to take this guy first. Yeah. Right. Keep burning all these. And free the elder. Should have been put in statues like Nasty Naught did.
Spyro-san, I'm sorry the dojo is in such a state for your visit. It's usually a haven of tranquility. It is here that dragonflies grow up and train to be dragon companions. Protecting young dragonflies is a dragon sensei's highest calling, you know. And Spyro, your efforts will result in much reward.
Kind of funny, really, because considering that the dragonflies are supposed to protect the dragons, but when they're babies and can't deal with that, you have these specialized dragons to protect the baby dragonflies until they're strong enough. Because if you notice, no other adult dragons really have dragonfly companions. It's kind of a safeguard for the little ones. Also, Jackie Chan reference? Seems to be the case. I mean, these Dragon Elders really are actually Dragon Elders, considering that they have mystical abilities and also guard rooms. So that's now 3 remaining. And if we can just do this. That was the wrong button. I was stuck on sprinting when I wasn't pressing the button. But yeah, look, I can't actually stand on the baby, which is what I was going to demonstrate earlier and kind of half forgot, so that kind of worked out. Right, I kind of just need to blow on this. And you can trick it out. You can also obviously glide at it, like I'm trying to do. But normally we wouldn't be able to get these. I think this is one of them I can actually trick out, though. Normally, 2 of the 3 you can trick out. I'm kind of not getting it at the moment, though, so it's not a big deal, because obviously, you won't be able to get them all anyway. You're supposed to intended to have the ice breath, so we will come back later and do that. Again, first level, and we already have to make our way backwards. Now, there is a gate up there, but is that the end portal? I mean, we've only got 2 out of 10 dragonflies. I don't actually have a select button. So I'd have to pause and get in the atlas. Yeah, there is no... Ironically enough, I've actually got less buttons to work with. Is it the Z button? It is the Z button. I was right. Okay, so that shows what we got so far. 7,000 gems in the game. That's a very low number. But that is literally how many levels we have. So, Dragonfly Dojo, what have we got? So we've only got 2 of the Dragonflies so far. But we do have 1/3 of the gems already. 29% complete. So you can see by how the level's that big, this would normally be like the second out of like maybe 3 or 4 little major areas. Oh boy, that's not the case because they've had to put other stuff in levels when they didn't normally would have. Now, do you remember in Spyro 3 you would have like little gates that would bring you through a little swirly? Well, that's basically these. These take you to little mini-games within the level, and, well, normally Spyro would be running on the spot while it loads, but because these areas are so big, it has to deload everything and load the next area, so we have the swirly while we're flying at super fast speeds. Game? You want to keep sounding like a printer, or do you want to actually load? I'm waiting. A speedway? In a level? Yeah, another problem with the game's development, because of so little levels and the fact that they had to cut so much content, they actually put the speedways inside of levels to pad out the Dragonfly collection even more. So that the levels feel like they actually have 10 Dragonflies, 2 of them are tied to a speedway, and it's not in the hub world. And since you only have 1 hub world, how are you going to have speedways? Because the only world that actually had 2 speedways was Autumn Plains, I think it was, which wasn't even much of a plane, it was more of a big castle. But anyways... Banzai! But yeah, we don't need to worry about getting a faster time because there's no skill points. But yeah, this was the attraction demo. Enjoy. I will admit, that water texture is really bad. Oh my god, the frame rate. Help. Help! Game's suffering. At least my GameCube isn't, like, yelling at me. I missed one. I'm just trying to time it with my flame because, kind of a thing like... Oh god, where am I going? Where am I going? At least I didn't bonk. I'm supposed to be going into these lamps and lighting them all, but I need to get this guy first. At least we've got plenty of time. Right, so that should be all of those. No, I'm missing another one. Hang on. There you are. This would be one of the times where I would actually like the U-turn. Right, now we go for the lamp. So what we need to do is fly through them and just flame when we go through them. At least it's all Dojo themed, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Like, at least it has relevance in the level, and I guess it also makes the scope of the levels a lot bigger. Because, like, each level can be a little bit more unique, and it doesn't have to match with the hub world. Even though they didn't really. They kind of did, but didn't. Like, the artisans, it was all, like, different stuff related to being, like, crafty. Magic Crafters was all fantastical, like with, Actually, what am I doing? I need to go the other way around. Because, if I run headfirst into them, I'll hit them more often. Hey, it's the monks from Avalar! Why are they here? And I think this is the only time that we see them, and it's the only time we kind of murder them, actually. But yes, we do actually have supercharge, because you can see how our legs are going. And that worked out like a charm, look at that, first try. Loading, please wait. We've got to tally up your stuff. Hold on a moment. Okay, I'm getting the feeling that maybe the screen is a little bit off because I set the game to 480p. Because, you know, I live in the PAL region, this is a PAL copy, and we don't have 480p, so I'm going to have the sharpest quality possible. That could be causing a problem here. Problem is, if I have it interlaced, you're going to see all the interlacing. So I don't really have a way of working against this. I might have to experiment some more. But you're not missing out on too many uninteresting stuff. And I haven't zoomed in the footage, by the way. That is literally where it cuts off. So, again, I'll have to experiment a little bit. But yeah. We got everything on that one, so that's pretty cool. We don't want to try again, but we do want to try the race next. Oh, you didn't call out his name, Spyro. Not too sure if that was a glitch or if that just didn't get recorded. Use the blue stars for boosting and the red for missiles, as you would do before in Spyro 3. So it works exactly the same manner. So we know exactly what we're doing here. So just hug the inner side, and Spyro's gliding's kind of changed a little bit. I think it's because we're catching up to him. I don't think we can flame the opponents this time though. It's a little bit of a thing. Oh, our wings have gone out wider again now. Maybe it's because I was swooping down a little bit? I don't know. I don't know how you make Spyro do that. I think that's a unique little animation. Like, sharp turn here, cut the corner, get the star. Works exactly as you'd expect. Same sound effect as well. Seriously, this feels a lot better than I remember. In fact, to be fair, because we don't have momentum-based physics, because it's as close to the PlayStation 1 games as possible. And the Reignited kind of changed it up a little bit. This feels right at home. Again, I have to really commend the team for making this as close, like both visually and feel, out of the well, you can flame them because they went black there, as the original trilogy as possible, without having access to any of the original resources or source code. I really commend them. And it's not even what they wanted to do, either. And most of the stuff they had to do visually. Like, they had to look at the original games and then animate, like, frame by frame, how it looked. So, again, it's not even, like, with referencing of code or models. They literally had to look at it. And did I just fail because that didn't get triggered? I didn't go, of course. I went through that ring. Wow. I praise and then it immediately slaps me in the face. Alright, let's try it one more time. It's fine. The only problem is, though, because of how big the areas are and how slow-paced it is, I think we might have to end after doing this. But, one thing about the, with these speedways is that there's no additional, like, third thing, like finding Hunter and doing an additional challenge or something, or talking to an NPC and doing an additional challenge like you do in Spyro 2. You just do the two that Sparks gives you, and that's it, really. That's your lot. We'll just keep on flying through these rings and race these guys. Actually, there's a red ring all the way over there. Is that even worth going after? Let's segue to it. Oh god, frame rate didn't like that. Right, I got it. Can't tell if Spyro's actually got anything else now. Did fire, though. Is that homing in? Okay, the smoke trail is not the best, I will admit. That did look a bit bad. He kind of, like, puffed once and then puffed again. But I'm not going to knock the little things. As long as the game functions and is working well, because it actually is working really well. As I said, this is definitely more stable and a lot more polished than Sonic 06. Although this was probably kind of what happened to Sonic 06 as well. That happened in a lot more of a negative thing, really. Also, notice that we're not getting, like, any visual indication that we're getting zapped with a rocket when we fly into those red rings. We just have to assume we have it. You know what, I'm gonna go down here and cut this guy up. Alright, through the green ring. There we go. I want to make sure I actually went through it. turn. We're in second. That's good. Right, you up. We should be in first now. No, wait, hang on a minute. I was behind second place. That doesn't make sense. Also, I think I lost by being second. Yeah, I did. Okay, it changed to second place before I overtook second. I was second. I passed by second like 10 seconds after. That was a bit weird. Alright, let me do that one more time. We'll speed it up. Okay, so that person ahead of me must have been the one in last place, and I was going to lap him, but that means I was in first place. I'm guessing it just doesn't track it properly. Also, I'm pretty sure the rockets don't home in at all. They just fly straight and that's it. Like, not once did they home in like the red shells they're supposed to emulate. Also, is it just me, but when you're flying around and the frame rate drops, does the resolution drop too?
Hey, it's your Jimbo.
There we are! Speedway complete! Well, we're done here, and I think that'll be the end for this episode as well. I want to keep them a little bit shorter than, you know, going too over the top. So I think in the next episode, we're going to finish off the rest of Dragonfly Dojo. See you guys then.